Right. Let's get Dr. CME. I'll get to Dr. Ifeanyi so that we get the government, sector, the public sector perspective to this. But Dr. CME, how easy is it, for the sake of getting it right, to deal with patients that are not well to do?
So first and foremost, on this subject matter, the patient is the king. Everything is about the patient. But let me just tell you something. Are you aware that myself and the other specialists on this program, if we were all abroad, you will take your phone to verify if we are specialists indeed. Do you know, very sadly, all the viewers all over the world watching us, including yourselves, you can't even verify if Dr. Oshemi is a specialist, and if he's a specialist, if he's in a good standard, a good standing. I just want to throw this at you that our system has tried a lot and God is helping us. However, shouldn't people even be able to put on their phone Dr. Oshemi and see the specialty, Dr. Agbide and the other people? If we cannot do this, then there must be more quacks than qualified people, because the quacks know you cannot differentiate us from the other. Also, this subject matter on wrong diagnosis or not falls under the auspices of medical negligence. And if people do not know the impact of wrongdoing, then why shouldn't they continue the wrongdoing? So I know that I belong to membership in the Royal College in London, Chartered Society of Forensic Science. You only need to put my name and you can see if I'm a member and in good standing or not. And so I need you to understand that in Nigeria, even colleague to colleague, I don't know who is a quack, who is not a quack, and I can't verify. And so even though the Medical and Dental Council, Laboratory Association, everybody is trying, I want to encourage them to help the public that we can now start questioning ourselves and so on and so forth. Secondly, we should encourage revalidation of professionalism. Medical diagnosis and wrong diagnosis is not only about doctors, it's about the entire health practitioners. And there must be revalidation processes and good standing, but the competence, our capacities to do that, we don't have all. But now to your question. Humanitarian means conducting business or conducting livelihood with human face. Charity means you are doing something for not for profit. Therefore, every doctor, every lawyer, and every banker must have human face. Human face simply means I, as a lawyer, will use my skills to help this man from the hangman. I, as a doctor, will attend to this person's fiscal needs. I, as a banker, will use cash. However, charity also must be differentiated. Charity means we are established not for profit. Once is a private business, we are expected to give the return on investments. However, we must have humanitarian face, but we are not charitable organization. We are humanitarian face, we are charitable organization. So don't let us misconcept or misconstrue humanitarian to be a quality of only doctors, lawyers, priests. Every human being must be humanitarian in their practices. However, if you are a private-based hospital, yes, humanitarian shows you must show empathy. You must have a feeling. You must to clear that I I'm not into a charity business, but I'm 100% into humanitarian business. As a doctor, that is the Hippocratic Oath. And it's not just about doctors, virtually every human being must be in a humanitarian business. However, just let's think about it. The greatest problem people have is about nutrition and hunger and sunlight and so on. Can we go to Sheraton and all this place and remind them, you're in a humanitarian service. I am hungry. I only need quarter chicken. I only need half of 2 wraps of pounded yam and a 40 roll. You are humanitarian. I think they'll tell you you've lost it. But sincerely, humanitarian is not a very big grandiloquent word. But are you out for business? Are you out for charity? It will also determine how you are funded. So I thank Nigerian healthcare professionals and not doctors. And you guys on the TV screen, you're actually also doing something humanitarian, but you're conscious that adverts will be heavily charged. That's it.
Doctor Oshiemi, how much we do.
Dr. Oshiemi, I can say for a fact that it's not, all adverts. It's really for those that, do good to the public.
What's the percentage of adverts?
We have a lot of health jingles and all that are running on the NTA. I can speak for the NTA that are absolutely
fantastic.
Free. But you see, I like what you have said about registration of doctors and all. But this misdiagnosis doesn't just rest on the doctors alone. The medical lab practitioners, or if you like, professionals, are a key part of all of this. What can we do? We're trying to find solutions now. What can we do such that if a sample is taken, it's actually true that the person has malaria and not that, because, everybody has malaria in Nigeria, you just go plus. And then, you're just, all of that. How do we get this checked? Get the labs certified, get the professionals, knowledgeable to do the right thing. And just so that, we begin to get right results and then, of course, they get right treatment.
So the answer is pretty simple. And that was what makes you a legal medicine expert. You see, in England, if you are a practitioner and you have done a wrongdoing, if you type the person's name, you will see this person currently on suspension, this person already banned from practice. In Nigeria, you cannot go online to see the good standing of a person unless people know that from their action, their names and standing shall be published. And people can actually know what they are standing. And these are the days of what you call soft power. Once people see your standing, they will publish it and it will go viral that you are not. So first and foremost is, how can we prevent those who are not fit to practice to keep practicing? That is not established. So if I'm not going to be sanctioned and I'm not qualified, why shouldn't I take advantage of the situation? Secondly, also will then be, how do we practice? So the benchmarks are not the same, and you can hear some of the regulators identifying some of the challenges. So the challenges will therefore come from revalidation, enforcement, and what you call collaboratory efforts. Sometimes some of these people, when you do wrongdoing, let me give you a typical case. The man called Adamaku is a classical example of gross medical negligence. A medical negligence is where a person falls short of duty of care and it has come to a wrong outcome. Sometimes it's not deliberate or serious. Adamaku, an anesthetist in United Kingdom, was during an operation not fell short of duty of care. The tube that should be supplying gas and necessary thing to keep the man alive was not done. The patient died. This was gross medical negligence You failed short of duty. You didn't do your duty and led to death. Adamako